Alright, this time is time to actually conquer Ungol, and while I did prepare a bit the terrain in advance, that we still need to, brand, sufficient number of captains. I did kill all the warships, but I decided to not put anyone in their place, just to, showcase a bit more the difference in terms of, to spice things up in terms of, having a different kind of siege.
I wonder, is there any strategic value in playing the game that way, or is it more like a self-imposed
just role
challenge?
playing. It's entirely up to you in deciding what to do. I will get to this guy later. It's literally up to you. Logically, the best thing that you can do is to kill all the warships, implant, all your branded captain in those positions, and implant as much spice as you can to the Overlord's throne. That will be literally the most logical case to make your way towards conquering the fortress as, completely clean off as possible. But you can play it around just to have fun, see what you can do. Like I said at the beginning, the game recommends technically hard mode to give you an idea what the full experience of the Nemesis system. But I think normal also gives you a good indication. Sure, hard gives you generally an idea of how, extremely chaotic things can be. But I argue already, normal is a good time. Easy, argue, yes, it really does not give you a good idea because you kill orcs way too easily in that one.
I'm guessing when it comes to hard mode, essentially the main thing that gets triggered is essentially more surprise ambushes on your operations.
That and the general rule of thumb that the orcs have more health and do more damage, and sometimes maybe they will have less weaknesses and more resistance, giving you, forcing you to adapt better in terms of having a strategy towards them.
Also, nice 3-on-1. It's you versus 2 orcs and a mischievous spider.
My boys will hear about this, and you'll suffer.
I'm gonna tell Mom.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
No, you started it. Now I'm going to finish it.
Damn it!
Wait, no, I didn't beat. Oh, I'm alive.
Imagine if you could control the spiders too.
Unlocking all the collectibles of Shelob grants you a perk that lets you summon a bunch of them if you want, that actually, do not attack you and just attack the enemy.
Spiders of that size that you just fought, or spiders of bigger size?
No, just of that size.
So Shelob's the only giant spider we see in this game, I'm guessing.
Like I said, she's the only last remaining daughter of Ungoliant, and the rest of the spiders are essentially a progeny, and it's a case of power gets diluted with each passing generation.
Shoot, how messed up would it be if the few talking spiders we saw in the second Hobbit film were the last ones left aside from Shelob?
It's not technically the last one, but instead, as Radagast himself puts it in the director's cut of The Hobbit, the first bunch to arrive. Mirkwood was actually a relatively peaceful place before the Necromancer showed up.
This camp's about the shoddiest I've ever seen. And I've camped in some right pits. No showing off, lads. Just cut one and move on to the next. Stop! Well, lads,
I actually like this guy.
What the heck?
This guy is an axe planted in his head, so I definitely want to recruit him. Go on.
So, I have to wonder, with the amount of times you've played these games, would you say that you've played enough that you've at least seen all the possible different dialogues and options, or are you still discovering new things?
I missed a couple of things, and I don't mean just this one in general. As I played, I did check cross-reference a bit what I can find online, and there are a few things that I genuinely did miss. For example, one of my favorite interacting case of orc captains showing up that I really wish I was able to capture but I could not find is a case where the captain normally would speak, but when they technically show up in order to ambush or anything, specifically in regards to having to talk to Talion, the interaction of being let's talk to Talion, they say nothing and a complete random henchman shows up from behind them and basically tell you, oh, my master doesn't even want to dignify talking to you.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And he's killed.
Yeah, it's a type of comedy that sometimes the game has in order to not being too bleak.
Oh yeah, no, like, I mean, despite the darkness of our hero's tale,
And
these
essentially,
games
as
have
many outlets called it, these being basically slavery simulator.
Yeah, the game does manage to bounce out its tone. Like, granted, part of it does help out with the extended cast. Like, of course, you got Golem. Surprisingly, Shelob is a source of a more uplifting feeling since she has kind of been in our corner so far. So that's all well and good. Then we've got people like Ratbag, well, the closest thing to a decent orc that we've seen in this universe so far.
And we will see more of him later.
Chosen master.
You know, it'll be messed up if you recruit them just to banish them.
Just to kick them out again.
Again, you can do it if you want, in case of being a dick.
And let me guess, that, like, you know, absolutely disgraces them.
No, it's not the equivalent of shaming them, but they will actually feel that, and you know, they will gain the trait Iron Will, meaning that you will not be able to recruit them again. And then if you encounter them, you tell, "Why did you do that? I hate you," basically.
So it will legit be personal.
To an extent, yes.
No, it's personal.
Ah, yes, the tagline of truly what was meant to be the most iconic Jaws film.
Frozen.
Jaws of Revenge.
Yes.
Invader! I will protect Mordor.
To this day, I don't think I've seen a single Jaws movie.
You haven't?
Why the heck is this guy wearing Hulkbuster armor?
Not just
I've
that,
seen-
even his mask looks like a fly set. It's part of the
I've
outlaw
seen-
tribe.
I've seen scenes from them, but not the whole movies.
I mean, Dweebs, for crying out loud, for Revenge has Michael Caine in it. Granted, completely wasted, you know, but, you know.
That's what I was going to say. If I wanted to watch Michael Caine being the lead in a movie, I'd watch the original version of...
Christmas Carol.
Oh, no, that's an adaptation or something. I'm talking about an original film that he was in, but I've forgotten the name.
Also,
Get Carter, that's it, yeah.
Also, since this guy killed me and I got lucky and I got a unique orc out of it, this guy, since he killed me with the same just one word, gains the title of one word. So basically, everything he expresses, he will do it in using just one word with a Scottish accent.
So, if I understand correctly, the more feats you accomplish, the more EXP you're worth to a guy who kills you?
Not necessarily. The way the orcs level up is mostly due to either to the pits or surviving an encounter against you. If they survive an encounter against you, it's just one level. Yeah, it's just one level. If they actually survive the pits, they will be between 3 and 7 levels until they reach the same level as you. Slightly similar to Pokemon, they cannot really surpass a certain threshold. In this case, the level that Talion has. You know, once you level up even more, the captains with recruited can actually level up equally even more than that. You know. Up until a certain point they cannot. Consequently, you cannot recruit an orc that's higher in level as you, which is why the shaming mechanic comes in. If you want to, you're interested in that orc's design, but they're too, too high level, you can shame them and then, recruit them later.
Hear me! I do not think you are a threat. I think you are tasty morsel. Too small to be full meal, but interesting little tidbit.
What, the whole eating thing?
Delicacy.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, it's not of a slaughter tribe, but of a marauder tribe, which normally would be about riches, but this guy wants to eat me, so no thank you.
Oh, he's a literal humanitarian.
Well, I get in that kind of sense, but I'm pretty sure he normally would eat orc since he hasn't. Gone to the invasion of the West yet.
Oh, so he's the orc equivalent of a cannibal to boot. That's messed up.
It's an orc world, I guess.
You know, I'd say HR should get onto this, but I don't think Sauron would really be in the mood.
Oh no, I know what orc resources would be like. We have a dispute, and Paramount settles it by just killing the both of them.
Or having them settle it in the pit, and it's like, okay, whoever who lives, your concern will be listened
it's
to.
probably more appropriate that way. Alright, I know I wouldn't like recruiting a guy like this, but, you know, every resource is useful, so...
You are my master, my master.
I am.
And we'll have him join against the assault of the guy that I highlighted before, the guy with the, you know, the metal branding on top of his head.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious. Can someone that you've recruited sort of also ambush a, well, you know, like, well, okay, you know, like, well, how captains can interrupt or join in on fights. Can people that you've recruited interrupt or join in on fights?
Yes, but that would be highlighted if they actually intend to do it. Specifically in the case you're recruited, so you can get a general idea of maybe I want to check out this mission to make sure that it all goes according to plan, or you can actually pilot that to make sure that happens. The guy that I just recruited, I sent them to actually be a reinforcement of a mission instead of being the ambushing party, but it can actually happen.
Now let's you and him fight.
But it's more in this case leading to a trap.
Cross and cross, cross and cross.
Sure.
It'll take more strength and
How
speed than
imaginative.
you've got to catch me.
So yeah, in this case, in this type of scenario, one orc will basically go na-na-na-na to another, and then lead them to the rest of his contingent in order to set up a trap. Now, if the orc that you're interested in is actually part of the contingent that's supposed to follow, you can easily bait them, you know, this way, and while the rest of these forces go away, you can confront him one-on-one. But for this case, I might as well cause a general rush, since my forces are a bit stronger than these guys, so might as well. I want to try to recruit him as well.
I get the feeling he wants to crush us.
I really don't want to know what happened to you to be reduced
You know,
this
there's
way.
literally there's literally a make of the milkshake round here that at one point that was called Crusher. I think you just pour a liquid into milk and bam, milkshake.
Okay.
Well, whatever happened to that guy, I get the feeling it has to do with that clear bout of head trauma.
Yeah. See if I can manage to. There we go.
Distance.
My hand's floating over your head.
Basically.
Cross, cross.
Okay,
I
then.
take it that means you're happy to join.
So let's see if I can actually manage to make him an infiltrate as a spy for the Overlord. Would be hilarious to have this guy there. So that means he will have to fight in the pits in order to, to qualify. Get the fuck out.
So, let me guess. The more they level up, the closer they are to climbing the ranks, essentially.
Not necessarily. Even a low-level orc with enough manipulation on your part can actually rise up. It's more about,
Stats.
Yeah, generally just stats, bigger numbers and everything. Also, the higher the level, the bigger the chances of gaining more resistances and less weaknesses.
That makes sense. I'm guessing in that case, the positions are basically about what stuff they command, who they command, and how close they are to the Overlord.
That, to an extent, but leveling up also grants them particular perks, which would include stuff like having a bunch of orcs following him around, or having a mount, or having a flaming weapon, for example, Okay then.
Ooh, literal trash talk.
technically speaking, the Crusher guy is technically higher in level than this guy, and even has a bunch of orcs going around. But since this guy's a defender and loves to use that spear, you know, stabbing combo, unfortunately, I don't really have a chance. Like,
He really
sure,
does seem...
Sure, I will still manage to chip away part of his health, but not enough, and unfortunately, this guy, as you will see, will perish away. Sometimes it can literally be a gamble, despite you wanting to, you know, put the odds as much as in your favor as possible. Sometimes it's literally just randomly generated by the AI.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It can lead to disappointment for sure, but it's more of a case of, you know, having to work with what you have and adapting to the circumstances. You know, Orc is a big, Mordor is a bigger place. There are so many other orcs that you can choose around.
But since Talion is watching this from up high, I wonder if maybe he can claim the winner.
And there you go, fatality.
Oh.
Like I said, when the slow-mo is about to happen, you know that one of the orcs is about to die. The best, you know, suspense is the one once both of them have low health, so you don't know actually which of them is gonna win. It can actually happen, you know, turning around the situation potentially. You know. All right, let's recruit this guy since it's just there.
Good timing! You took out one of our own, and you happen to be a strapping young candidate.
Congratulations, you're qualified.
You start today.
Pretty much. If I recall correctly, I'm about to send a bunch of my guys against the guy that survived. Yeah, there you go.
So I'm guessing that goons that you make your bodyguards are the ones who like always accompany you in specific battles.
Yes and no. You can select only one orc as your bodyguard, but pressing the right on the D-pad will actually summon said bodyguard if you think the situation, you know, requires that. But watch out, because despite being a low percentage, there's a percentage that instead an assassin will actually, or tracker, might show up and said, surprise, you were expecting someone else, you know.
Oh shoot, in that case, did they intercept your help, or...?
They will show up just instead of them.
Okay, so nothing bad happens to you.
No. They do not really get killed off screen like that.
Your words are nothing.
This is actually not an arena fight, but a more conventional duel, which means I can actually intervene, since I think I sent a bunch of captains against him, there you go. I still want to make sure, you know, this guy gets killed without, you know, having to kill my troop, especially because you can see the level disparity is quite a lot. So, let's get to him.
Just get into position and...
Shank.
Arenafy him.
No, thank you.
A human joining the orcs. Let's see, last time a human trusted orcs? Oh right, a whole kingdom got talked.
Well, he trusted the Nazgûl, not the orcs. But anyway, this guy is more of the outlaw tribe, but he's more referring to what the Nazgûl also said. Apparently, these rumors are spreading in Mordor about this prophecy in which Talion will actually join the Nazgûls eventually.
Wouldn't that be something if Italian turns out to be one of the Nazgûl that we fought in the original trilogy?
That really... Oh, the clipping. They're really not possible because the Nazgûl are... Remember what they was said in Fellowship of the Ring? They are the old kings of men corrupted by the rings of power.
Well, see though, what if like the loophole is that Talion was technically a king when Celebrimbor made that second ring for him, essentially?
Oh no, this is a different ring. Anyway, there we go.
It's like you got revenge for that kill from last time.
Remember, because he survived the previous encounter, so... What? Also this, occasionally the Overlord will send one random captain in the role of a messenger, telling to Talion, my dick's bigger than yours, and that's that, goodbye. But since I detested this mechanic, this guy is not going anywhere.
You're telling me that these guys literally have goons to just come and trash talk you and then run away?
Yeah.
Huh. That is a whole new level of petty.
Oh, I want to inject some ultimate irony, so instead I'm gonna recruit this guy, and then try to make him qualified to be a spy for the Overlord. So he will return to his master, but he will not. But the master will not know until it's the last moment that he gets, you know, a viper in his midst.
Well, I thank you for sending us this messenger. We'll send him right back to you with some
Again, this is
interest.
technically just me role-playing, but as you can see, I'm constructing a narrative via gameplay alone.
Honestly, you
And
know,
by interest for us, he'll be missing an arm.
but yeah, no, I mean, honestly, that is the mark of a very good RPG where you literally do form a story just alone with the gameplay. Not to say that there isn't an actual story, but again, the narrative that we're weaving with how we carry out pretty much essentially Army Simulator is spectacular.
Let's play rough. You're nothing but trash.
We already got that, mate.
Orcs are all a mistake. You're nothing but trash. True and Orc 2. Shut up!
I'll be honest.
Okay, Drews, what's
Nabi-
this maneuver called in wrestling? Like simple tackle, I guess?
This maneuver here, this
No, the one from before. The guy just tackling and then pummeling while he's down. I'm pretty sure there is an equivalent.
Me too.
It's
I'm not...
just a simple tackle.
Okay, then.
Because I was gonna say, every time I've been hearing you do something along the lines of nothing but trash lately, I keep thinking of the I Choose You Pokemon movie where he literally says that.
Wait, what's going on? Do you know how much grog I've had? I don't. But I do know that I'm gonna kill you.
Okay, imagine this guy kills you and he goes up the ranks. Let it happen anymore.
A guy like this can also be Overlord if you want.
That's the thing.
my God.
Sorry.
In fact, I kind of wanted to recruit him, but instead I will kill him accidentally, alas. Go on, Pedro.
That's the thing, Jove. As someone who saw it for the first time recently with Wibs, I love it, just not for the reasons I think the filmmakers intended. I don't know. I find the movie to be. I find the main antagonist to be so laughable. Pokemon I Choose You.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's the one you were talking about. So.
Oh yeah, I just thought you might potentially be talking about another movie you had recently seen.
Yeah, the main villain in that movie is.
He's borderline infinite in terms of how try-hard mid-2000s edgy he is with his lines.
Oh goodness.
Alright, let's now
Oh, what do we have here?
Let's track down the guy that actually did kill me beforehand, so I can get my personal revenge. This guy instead is having a party, so let's follow the breadcrumbs until we find him. It's not too far ahead.
Must have left our invitations in the mail.
The
but
best
it
thing
looks like
about
we got
this
a
pet
crash one.
is also not on his mount, which means I can actually, you know, prepare a proper ambush from here. For example, a party means a lot of barrels of grog, so
Oh right, grog's explosive.
I can just, well, I can also poison it. If I had enough patience, I could just wait until they drinking and start killing each other, because remember, that's a thing that can happen.
They get
But,
paranoid if it's poison and assume everyone else poisoned one another.
Yes, basically. Or, if you actually acquire a perk while leveling up, the poison itself can make them give them a frenzy status, then I can actually compel them to attack other orcs while spreading the infection in doing so. Like I said previously, the captains are not completely immune to that, but only in specific occasions they will get insta-killed.
Can you shoot that hanging thing down on so it lands on him and kills him?
I can, but not for this. Like, I can shoot and it will fall down, but the obstacles that do actually give armor others. This one is beta but attracts caragors, but I don't really need it.
It was like he Unexpected.
I mean, yeah.
Are you drunk?
No, but like I said, he only refers to everything with just one word. In this
Oh, I
case,
get
he
that.
has to show surprise that, you know, I showed up at this party.
It's just that he was stuttering and his voice sounds slurred that time as if he were drunk.
Or
no,
the
you
case of being
don't.
surprised.
You literally just stole his mount right in front of him. And killed it for good measure, I see.
But he summoned a bunch of others because he has that kind of ability.
The funny thing was, it looked like he was about to get on that mount before you literally yoinked it in front of him.
I was in case you're wondering why I'm thinking a bit, is because I contemplated if I wanted to just, you know, kill him or be killed, since you do get an achievement for like being killed like 3 times in a row by the same orc or something. I forgot specifically what it is. But eventually, no, you will see that I prefer to have my karmic vengeance in a different way. Also, stop saying determination. You're not a Toby Fox fan.
You must be really determined.
Determination.
Alright, anyway, I put this guy to work immediately to another mission, so that's what we'll actually find out soon enough. Because he said not detonated this. And yeah, so the riding Karagor theme from the first game returns over there, Ride the Beast, because it was considered one of the best music themes of the first game. Now I had to go against Bane?
Ah. Bane as an orc.
on our treasures, lads.
Or
No
Mad Max
fencing,
in Fury
unless you
Road.
want me to take your
And
fingers.
someone said, why does Tom Hardy has to, you know, receive shit on his face constantly?
Uncomplicated. Major Lord!
Oh, fuck.
Oh, it's a good day to die.
Oh, how
Who are
many of you are there?
Enough, I guess. But anyway, might as well having to deal with this guy too, but first, let me just kill his mount, and then deal with Bane while I'm at it.
Goody.
If I recall correctly, I make sure that I essentially literally drop onto this guy without him even noticing. As in, I will manage to, you know, recruit him right on the spot, yeah, because the stabbing reduces him, you know, in critical health anyway. There we go.
I am your master. Yes, master. Master.
Yeah, you can go.
Thank you.
Alright, now let's deal with the guy who uninvitedly, you know, joined the party.
It's like an outright brawl in there.
I'm trying to aim. There we go.
Yeah.
Stand still!
Goodness gracious.
Just one question for you, Tark. Would you describe yourself as rare, medium, or well done?
Make good on your
Okay,
Oh,
you need to
fuck
quit it
me.
with those. Oh, a third one.
Are there any more orcs that I should be knowing about?
And then it turns out that there's a line outside the cave, just each waiting their turn.
Just like Squidward saying, I'm out of here. Alright, you get a pass just because I like your design.
Now you're basically making decisions on your playthrough the same way I usually do, which is based on how I'm feeling about things.
I mean, it's more of a case of both of these guys rudely and invitedly join, you know, the place when they were not asked. But, you know, one guy at least had a better cool design, while this one instead just pisses me off. So no, he doesn't get a pass. Unfortunately, since he's a berserk, I cannot, you know, approach him completely directly. And unfortunately, he's also immune to the execution mechanic, meaning that I had to chip away his health in a different manner.
Imagine.
I'm enraged by being cold.
Yes.
Okay.
Thankfully, since I have the Advent Rage meter full, I can just do this to chip away his health, especially since he's not immune to the arrows.
Good thinking.
But again, since this guy barged in uninvited, I don't have any sympathy for him.
Ooh, shamed.
Now get the fuck out of my face! I love the absolute audacity. I literally just shamed and, you know, sent away one of your captains and you still think you have a chance. This is like the books of Ultima 9.
Brave fool, that's what he is.
Alright, with that being said, we are all ready to start our siege of Cirith Ungol.
Alright then.
Like I said in the introductory scenario, the first two orcs that you select on the left column would be the ones that you speak with at the beginning of the siege. But overall, their combined strength would be vital for the success of the, you know, of the siege. You can also select, you can also purchase a couple, you know, perks. You will unlock more slots as long as Talion gets to level up. You know, meaning that you know, the better you perform at the game and everything, the better your chances will be, obviously, also at the siege. But of course, if you chip away the fortress and if you manage to implant people, you will have a much easier time and you only have to focus squarely on the Overlord. Again, for story reasons, we did not confront it, you know, the Overlord when the story-mandated stuff happening in Nurnen, but from this point on, no, you will have to actually fight them.
So, I guess in a sense, these are definitely the benchmarks that you build up towards.
Yes, all your recruiting actually leads up to these moments.
I'm curious, can you ever get it so that one of your lackeys is eventually the Overlord, so the game was rigged from the start and you pretty much just march your way to victory?
No. The best you can do is to plan spies.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like I said, the fortress will actually be custom in terms of design to what the tribe or the job profession of the Overlord, in this case in an assassin.
Loyal servants of Sauron.
And even the speech would be, you know, custom depending on that.
Fortress, and it is we who will avenge shark boars. Step closer, honored guests. We've got quite a set of diversions for you! Be brave, and never mind the screams!
Ready to go, Master!
We've conquered one fort already. Put the whole garrison to the sword. Does he think things will go any different here?
I like the little dialogue
ready.
from the guys working for you.
Again, it's definitely a different experience when you're actually playing, since you actually have built up to this moment in the game, actually, you know, genuinely hypes up the beginning of the siege. Now, since like I said, I've infiltrated nobody in the places of War Chief, I have to work around my way to actually enter. For Tallinn it's not a problem since you can just climb the walls. But the rest of the forces will have to bust up the gates themselves, which is not too much of a problem if you have at least an Orc in the team. Now, the points will have to be captured instead, normally. Since I have infiltrated nobody, you just need to stand around, and when the bar is full, press down on the D-pad. If the war chiefs are still alive, these will be the points where you need to confront them, and actually have to fight them. Again, future sieges will showcase more similar scenarios to the one that I just described.
So what is calling him a cunt? What the hell? Cirith?
There we go.
For orcs to be like that, isn't it?
Only 1 point remaining. Again, the later fortresses will have more people defending them, meaning that even the points to conquer will actually be, more than just 1 or 2. So far, it is still a relatively easy scenario for me to have.
Well then.
There we go.
Yeah, symbolic with the flag.
And now we just have to confront the Overlord.
Hello?
Pizza delivery. Yes,
Good time to learn about our Lord and Savior.
the Bright Lord, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the case of this, what would be the gods of Middle-earth, exactly?
Elu Ilu Vatara.
Well, there you go then, our Lord and Savior, whatever you said.
You made it this far. I get to see the suffering in your eyes up close.
If it is pain you seek,
They knew we wouldn't escape an Sorry. They knew we wouldn't expect an assassin to be the top dog.
So yeah, this guy as an assassin, he has poison weapon and a mount. So it's a bit
No
of a
pressure.
tough. Yes, Libs.
No pressure.
Yeah. We have the spy infiltrator, like I said, but this guy is also legendary in terms of status, so it would be potentially a bit hard in actually taking him down. The thing that would be, customized instead would be how also the inside of the fortress looks. In this case, again, terror trap and everything, and what gets spewed by those jets. In this case, it's poison because this guy is poisonous. But otherwise, it would be, for example, flame, smoke, curse, like a curse smoke, sticky smoke, or if I can also ice.
Well, in that case, be all prepared with that matter and stuff. I take it you cannot recruit overlords.
Oh, you actually can, but it will count as you defeat them, and if you want them to retain the ownership of the fortress, you will have to manually select them after the siege. I would have preferred if the scenario was like, the overlord was like, oh okay, just proceed to the Bright Lord and remains in position, but I get why they did this. They did it so that it's actually easier for you to select, instead of having to go to a prefix scenario and then later on modify it. Unfortunately, one thing that I did not, pay too much attention is that this guy has a trait that is a bit nasty. Not only being legendary means that he inflicts a lot of damage, and the fact that they do not have much health, is also a good implication as well. But he also has the trait of no chance. What does that mean? That means that if I actually get KO'd by him, I will not get absolutely any chance of actually getting up. Like so,
Yes.
which means he kills me instantly.
I guess that's to show that those that wear golden armor mean business.
Oh, this deck does not even go around. It's more of a case of it can happen potentially. It's not really dependent on the gear of the orc. But I know what you're thinking. So what happens if my siege fails at this point? Thankfully, the game is generous enough so you don't have to repeat the whole siege in its entirety. You have to just repeat the final fight against the Overlord, which is fair enough. You know. As much as I enjoy having to do the whole siege again, I don't remember if on higher difficulties you're supposed to repeat the entire siege. It wouldn't surprise me too much, but I can live without that. You know. Again, if you really enjoy that, you can just do the online functionality anyway.
This world is ours for the taking. It is ours to set free.
How inspiring can it bring more? Alright, round 2. This time, unfortunately, despite the infiltrated is not present anymore, alas, but what can I do about it? If I wanted, I could have, set up a bunch of more, but I did not want it to waste too much time.
Return for more punishment, soft skin.
I thought I killed you.
Well, again, the orcs at this point have a general knowledge of the fact that Talion cannot die properly, but they still will try to do it nonetheless because, they deem it as fun.
My brothers will be back to rip this fortress from your hands.
Yeah, I don't think so. There we go.
There we are, armless.
Literally. Alright, despite a minor setback, we're technically done.
Yeah, the minor setback of death.
If you listen, you can hear the thunder of our enemies' feet as they flee. While we feast in victory, they quake in fear. Because they know that we are coming for them. Witness the rise of Mordor! Witness the rise of the Bright Lord!
And given that I haven't heard about the Bright Lord in any of the Lord of the Rings movies...
Again, dweebs, all in due time, we'll get there, eventually.
And for some reason, I would love it if it, turns out that the reason no one mentions him is that he had a really pathetic death. Like, I don't know, Sauron tapped on him or something.
Quaint, but no. Anyway, it's time to choose the new Overlord. Like I said, depending on which one you will choose, their tribe will reflect also the appearance of the fortress, but I wonder. If I choose the one that killed me, the one world guy, believe it or not, I can get a trophy, because you can get a trophy if you have an orc that, if you actually have an orc that has killed you, become an overlord. Extra hilarity and everything. But, there we go. But I could have chose even the guy with the axe in his head, admittedly. Alright then. In the next part, we will actually travel instead to one of the other regions that with this we have unlocked. The region of Gorgoroth, which will be essentially the fire plane near the bottom of Mount Doom and Barad-dûr. See you for that.
Alright then.
See ya.
See ya.